guys, so this is a little different. As you guys know, I moved, or maybe you didn't know. I think I mentioned it to you guys on this channel. But I have some different news as well. So yeah, obviously I moved, so the backgrounds will be different. But I do have some, might be good news for some of you. As you guys know, I was a creator on Vessel. Well, Vessel was recently bought by Verizon, so they will no longer be having the service, like at all. Which is what sparked this video. Now, as you guys know, I used to do episode reviews of American Horror Story. And the reason why I stopped is because with Vessel, it's early content, so people who are members of that website get early content or early access to your content before it goes up on YouTube. So constantly, every video that you've not ever seen, maybe in the past year, every video I've done was filmed a week prior to you seeing it on YouTube. So that is no longer, and the reason why I didn't do American Horror Story reviews, or I stopped doing them, is because of the delay. By the time you would see my episode reviews, a new episode was already airing, and that's another reason why I didn't do Big Brother updates this year. I also just want to say right before I started filming this video, the turkeys are on my roof and I have skylights, and they were trying to get through the skylight. I'll insert some footage. The turkeys live here and they're just constantly on everyone's roofs. They've never been on mine until today, and it scared the shit out of me, so. Anyway, so this video, let's talk American Horror Story. It's been a minute since we discussed American Horror Story, and a lot has happened. You know, I finished Hotel, obviously. I never finished reviewing Hotel. I thought I would just give general thoughts about Hotel and other seasons. Why not just throw all in there? And also talk about my Roanoke Nightmare. I just watched the most recent episode, which was the October 26th episode, so I just watched that this morning. So with Hotel, overall, I'm gonna say it got better towards the end, mostly because of Kathy Bates. However, it's still not great in my opinion. I'm sorry about this lighting. It's really cloudy and raining today, and I'm just hoping that it gets better when the sun comes out. Anyway, so the ending of Hotel, I actually didn't mind it. I liked it. I liked that Kathy Bates came in and became a little bit of a badass. And yeah. Overall though, I think it's a little bit better than Freak Show. Freak Show by far is still my least favorite season, but Hotel is my second least favorite season. So the ranking currently goes 2, 1, 3, 5, 4, and then we're gonna talk about my Roanoke Nightmare, which I can already say it's in fourth place. I think it's better than Hotel and Freak Show so far. I hate that we always compare every season to each other, but it's like when you create such good seasons as 1, 2, and 3, and then it starts to go downhill, it just like, you just start comparing because it's like you have to live up to the last season. But so for my Roanoke Nightmare, it started out with 5 episodes, as we know, of a documentary type interview style recreations, dramatizations, I don't even know. And right away I was turned off a little bit because every single thing that you see was a cliche. One thing that I did like though was that every episode for the first 5 episodes was paid a tribute in some way to every season. So episode 1 paid a tribute to season 1. Episode 2 paid a tribute to season 2. So I like that they did that. It was really subtle, but when you hear it and you see the relation and the correlation, you're like, oh my gosh, that was amazing. That made it a little bit better for me, the first 5 episodes. However, my biggest critique so far this year is we didn't need 5 episodes to get to that point. I know that they were trying to do the tributes, which I can respect, but I just felt like the first half of the season was so drawn out, and we only have a few more episodes left, and I feel like it's kind of picking up now, but I feel like it just was like we got 6 or 7 boring ass episodes. I mean, not like super boring. The most recent one was pretty good. And okay, so we get into the fact that they do a reality kind of show, a Big Brother type of show, if you will, but in this house, and they set up little traps to, you know, entertain the viewer if anything doesn't happen, because in reality they believe that it's not haunted or that the butcher's not real, etc. And if any of you, I doubt you guys have, but if any of you have read the book Scream Queen by Ido von Belcom, oh my gosh, I was screaming at the laptop, and JM, my roommate, was like, if you say that one more time, because I just could not get over it, how similar they were. That's one of my favorite books. It's really cheesy and corny, and it's okay written, but I mean, I really like it. I've read it multiple times. So in the book, there's this girl who's auditioning for a part in this reality show where it's set in this haunted house, and you have to survive the night, and you get money. And she gets cast for it, and they go through all the process, and they get to the house, but it does show backstory of the brothers that created this show. And the personality of one of them is exactly like the personality of Sydney in American Horror Story. And so I was like, wait a second, he's very like into the show, and then we see someone actually die on set while creating the set, and the director was like, show goes on, we're still doing it. And that's exactly what happens in the book. At first I was like, oh, it's kind of similar. They're setting up like booby traps, so it's like kind of scary for the viewer. Like, I could see that that could be, you know, it's not like they're copying the book. Obviously other people can come up with that idea. But then when someone dies, and I'm like, that's exactly what happens in the book. So that's just my biggest observation, and I'm sure it's a very unpopular one because I don't think a lot of people have read that book, but that's just what I noticed. So then we get into this last episode, which a lot of people die, which I don't know if I like or don't like. I feel like at this point we're kind of rushing through all the deaths, because in the last episode they tell us everyone dies except for one, which I thought was a little weird that it spoiled itself, but then you're still intrigued as who's that one person that's gonna survive. So I get it, I get why they're doing that, it creates anticipation, but I just think that they're rushing it a lot. Like, they killed like 4 people in this last episode, and it's like, what? I mean, maybe we have 3 episodes left? Maybe could have spaced it out a little bit, I don't know. I was kind of hoping, I was kind of hoping that the butcher and the witch woman lady, whatever, Lady Gaga, wasn't actually real. And at first I thought they were going that route with Kathy Bates' character being the person who has schizoaffective disorder, and they're very wrapped up in this character and they believe they are the butcher until she meets her, and then it gets down to it and she just wants to be on TV. But I thought they were gonna do that where it wasn't real and they would actually just have the cast members kind of kill each other or something. It's so scary. What are they doing? Oh my god. It's seriously like a horror. My house is like a horror movie. If you want to see my apartment tour, I'll link my No Makeup Monday video on that. And you can see my house, and it's honestly reminds me of Paranormal Activity, and a lot of you guys said the same thing, so yeah. Anyway, those are pretty much all my thoughts leading up to this last episode, and as far as the rest of the season, obviously we know only one person survives, so my prediction of who it is, I think it's gonna be Sarah Paulson's character, which I kind of don't like her character at all. Oh, and I want to say that this is the most overacted season I've ever seen of American Horror Story. Like, I don't know if the actors are just super into their roles, but like, oh my gosh, they're just really overacting it, in my opinion. And I hate Sarah Paulson's character, which at the same time makes me love it a little bit because it's so different for her. She's always played like a likable person, and then she goes on to play this British woman who's rude and stuck up and just nasty. Anyway, that's kind of all I have to talk about for this season of American Horror Story so far, and just wrapping up Hotel. It was alright, that's all I'm gonna say. Let me know your thoughts on the rest of the Hotel, and also my Roanoke Nightmare down below. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. I thought I'd come back with a top 10 Netflix gems part 2 video. If you haven't seen my first one, I will link it down below, but I decided to do a part 2 because that was like, what, a year ago?